Today is, what is today? April 7th, and it's 9:13 p.m. for a special night edition of Three Dudes, One Zoom. This is your host, Teets, and I am with Corey and Tyler. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
So, what were you guys up to today, Corey?
Well, we played golf, so that was fun. A little sunburnt, I'd say. I'm pretty tan, but fun day of golf overall. James, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a good day of golf. Not so much for the game of golf. That was
got to step up your game, Teets.
Yes, I beat you. We stopped keeping score, and at that point, I was up 30 shots on you in second place.
I wouldn't say.
After the first two holes, you were 36 over par, I think. And I didn't think that was possible, but you accomplished.
Hey, they come in last.
There was three groups we had to let pass us. They were the first two hole.
I felt rushed.
I know you did.
I was just like, let's get these shots off, and I just wasn't on my game.
He was terrible. You were terrible.
Hank, I want to face you.
I'm decent at golf.
Teets.
Did you say that I'm better at Corey?
I will cook both of you in golf.
Hey,
that's not the question.
Teets saw that I had promise. He turned around. He's like, you know what? We're gonna work on this because I could tell that
Yeah, it's not bad. Like the ball goes up and down. We just got.
I just can't really.
I
can't hit it
straight.
No, not at all. And sometimes it's up and down, only like 3 inches off the ground, but it's still.
Hey, those are my best ones though, where it just rolls because they'll go downhill.
If he takes the altitude out of his game, he's better. If he just rolls them like 100 yards at a time, he's fine. He's like, "What club should I use?" I'm like, "It really doesn't matter."
That's the one.
Like, whichever one you can make good contact with at this point.
I think I rotated today with the putt, the pitch, and the 8.
And my driver.
8. I was gonna say, what about a driver? There's big.
Driver.
Yeah, I don't have a driver. I just use
mine. You had one really good hit with the driver on that hole that goes up a hill and the green's right on top.
Yeah,
of the
thank
hill.
God, because that's a fucking hill.
Thank how was your day?
I worked my ass off all day, so.
Not a boy, Tank.
So you did nothing as usual.
Yeah, nothing as usual. That's it.
Bringing the bread back home. I like it.
Anywho,
wait, did you have a job interview? Tank?
What?
Didn't you have a job interview?
No, they moved it till tomorrow.
Okay, we're gonna edit that part out. We don't.
What?
You were like, "Do I have a job?" No, I got it tomorrow. It's like great conversation.
Well, I thought he had it today. Why is that bad? I asked a question.
Got moved to tomorrow. If I had it today, it would have been a good question.
Yeah, we could talk about that on Thursday's episode. As you know, this podcast is every Tuesday and Thursday, God willing.
Sure.
Emphasis on God willing. A lot of things could go into play on that. So anywho, we got to what? I don't know. The fact that it took us. This normally happens at 1 p.m. based off the one episode we have, and it's 1:16, and we're recording now. So who knows what could go wrong? And Zoom crash. We got a bunch of crashes here.
Well, it's just your fault.
Really. Starting off.
Corey,
you almost cried when I suggested you could host the show tonight. So you want to talk about that?
I'll host it one day.
Yeah.
Just wait.
You're hosting Thursday's episode, or it's not going out, okay?
Then I got to come up with a bunch of topics tomorrow. And you guys are going to suck it up.
All right. Well, you should go for it. So
I didn't even have a conversation in any of the topics today, so.
Oh, why do you need it? Why?
I don't. I'm just saying.
See, Corey's like, I don't know anything about any of these topics. I'm like, do you get sports updates on your phone? Like, if you
I don't. I don't know what happened to my notifications. They must have disappeared. If not for the Michael K show today, I would know nothing about what's going on in baseball.
No free ads. That was a free ad. And don't listen to them. Listen to us. So that's a mean competitor. They put a.
I don't think they're even in our weight class.
You're right. We're probably above them, but you don't swing down. You know, always punch up.
I agree.
That's what we're gonna. You'll see. We'll be all right. We'll take them on one day. This light's really strong in my face. I just realized.
We have the best logo of any podcast.
Yeah, shout out to whoever made that. You really put in a lot of work, probably. Probably went through a lot of abuse by one of the members of this podcast when putting a picture on it.
My picture's so bad.
I told Tank, I thought that's like one of the best pictures of you out there.
I hate that picture so much.
I think it looks good. And I think another person would think you look cute in it. But I'm not going to name names because they probably listen to this podcast. They're a big fan.
Everyone's a big fan.
That's true. I checked this morning. I think we had like 210,000 people listen to the last episode.
No, we didn't. Did we?
That's a pretty good start.
So gullible. So gullible.
What? That's not. I mean, it's not that funny.
No,
Is
that
Not that far out. One video, 200. Like we're
no,
not.
we
that
did.
yet.
We did have 200. You don't understand how the metrics work on YouTube.
Dude, the
but
fact that we got 12 views when it's just us three that know
Oh,
about this.
we had
crazy.
210,000 views officially. The metrics are still out on that one though. We'll have to double check that later. But as of now,
We
we'll
have
stick
3
with.
subscribers and 21.
So we
So
have
we
like
are on YouTube at 3 Dudes One Zoom, right?
yeah, it's
It's
3 Dudes
SoundCloud?
One Zoom. It launched after the SoundCloud launched last afternoon under the same name, 3 Dudes One Zoom. You can just type that in the search bar, it'll pop right up. Make sure you
Attaboy.
like and subscribe and listen. And feel
And
free to comment. Shout out Tim for his comment. You really dominated the comment section last week.
My boy Tim. That's our best
Tom.
viewer right
It's
there.
Tom. It's Tom. That's
Is it
tough.
really tough?
It's Tom. That's
Oh,
tough.
Well,
That's
it's
tough.
he.
It's tough.
My guy
Man.
there is a genius because his videos are like how to get 100,000 likes in one on a video, and you click it to get like 1 million more because we have 210,000, and it's just him playing Call of Duty.
That's
So,
how you
like,
do it.
That's how you do it.
Honestly, if I just showed my butt right now, I would get so many views. But
And we'd probably have to when I put this on YouTube, I'd have to flag it as very inappropriate.
We are not
but if
Kim
it was a-
Kardashian. We are
Huh?
a bunch of. We are not Kim Kardashian. We are a bunch of ugly dudes making a podcast.
We are 2 ugly dudes making a podcast.
what is that supposed to mean?
Ask Mitch.
Hey, shout out Mitch's tweet.
Oh, we're not gonna talk about that. That's a whole episode. They don't know who Mitch is. Mitch is an interesting character who, when he finds this episode, will probably be upset. Just for this.
Probably.
But he won't know about it for a while until we get to episode 37.
Did he
We'll tell
watch
him.
episode 1?
No, I didn't tell him about it because I'm gonna wait till we have a few, and then Mitch. It's not just one episode. Mitch will be
Cool.
like, "Oh, I'm
Sure.
gonna spend the whole week listening to this on my commute." which
Right
is
after
good.
he wakes up with that feeling, he'll watch our podcast.
Ew, I don't
Be
know
sure
if
to
I want that.
If you want to know what I'm talking about, follow Chris Mitch at Chris Mitch 86 on Twitter. Go light that baby up. Anywho, you ready to dive into some topics, boys?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's talk some sports.
It's all sports today. Last week we had a little culture, so you got your culture for like the year. So we're done with that. So the first thing is the NHL. Well, earlier this week there was a huge phone meeting with the commissioners of all the leagues with the president.
Hey, you
Kinda-
know who was in that phone call?
Yeah, I know, Vince McMahon. Calm
My
down.
boy Vinny Mac, baby.
So,
Why does that matter?
because it gives them like, wow, we actually matter. WWE
They don't matter at all.
Wait, what was the phone call about? Just
was-
the future of everything?
It's like what's going on, and President Trump said he thinks that based off health people's recommendations, they'll be able to open up in August or September with fans,
That's
and that
kind of neat.
he wants sports to lead the economic recovery. Kind of be like, as soon as everything can open up, he wants sports to be underway, so people have.
What
something
about
to-
like concerts and stuff?
Well, I don't know if you ever noticed, but when this country goes through a rough point, the thing that bounces this
Sports
country
is
back is
right back.
sports. No one's going to.
No
like,
one's going to concert and going,
no one's-
Post Malone, you're my savior. No, like
I
you
will.
are.
I'll be the first one there.
That point proven.
Yeah, iconic moments like Piazza's home run, George Bush throwing a
George
strike
Bush,
right down.
yeah.
It's
Right
not
down Main Street.
not Jay-Z singing with Alicia Keys. Sorry,
You named two really bad artists, but
Wow.
they had a huge song about
Huge.
New York. Sorry,
Yeah, that
It's
was
not like
tough.
it's-
That was tough.
all right, we're just gonna get hit with a
That was
copyright.
tough, Corey. That was tough, Corey. That was tough, Corey saying Jay-Z is not a good
I
artist.
don't like him. Hey,
Just because you don't like
I-
him doesn't make him one of the
no,
greatest
I don't like his
artists.
music. I don't
First-
like his music. I-
First hot take of this thing: Jay-Z's not good at what he
Jay-Z
does.
is not good. Making us
Personal
look
pref-
bad.
preference. I don't like his music.
Oh, you may not like him, but he's still very talented.
I don't like his music.
So he's not talented. He's
I
a
think-
hack.
No, he is
he's a
talented,
hack.
but his
Say
music's
he's
just
a
not
hack.
for me.
Say he's a hack.
Huh?
Say he's a hack.
His music's just not for me. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, basically, you did call him a hack. You just didn't call him a hack.
So back to hockey. How we got to Jay-Z real quick. I'm not sure. But the NHL, the latest with them is they're discussing a plan to host the rest of the remaining of the regular season, even though Gary Bettman today said that it's a possibility that a regular season might be a lost cause, but at least continue the playoffs and awarded the Stanley Cup, playing in North Dakota in an isolated place where teams would be sequestered in hotels.
That's because no one lives in North Dakota.
Exactly.
I mean,
and it's
so wait.
cold there later, so the ice can be better maintained.
they're not gonna do like the rest of the regular season, right?
Bettman said today that it's a possibility that it won't happen. They just can't do it. That they would just do the playoffs.
I don't like that idea.
Yeah,
I
I
really
don't like
don't.
because you got a lot of teams that haven't played like there's a lot of teams with games like in hand and stuff that that's like I don't know.
Say like 3 more times.
Yeah,
to
I have
that.
no idea the point you were trying to get, but I
No,
understand a little bit. Not
it's not
really.
No,
fair to
it's
every
true.
team.
It's not fair. Not every team's played the same amount of games, but
Well, yeah, and how does that make sense for any team that is? How are they gonna say if anybody makes it to the playoffs? Like, how does it affect teams that like we're just gonna make it, and teams that aren't even close? Does that just mean they're gonna throw everyone in that we're gonna make it? Like
the
it's not
way
fair
the
for, like,
way. Oops, sorry, Tank. The way it sounded was that they would just do who's ever in the top 3 in each division, the 2 wild card.
That's beat.
But but they said, I guarantee you, here's what they're going to do: is they're going to do due to extenuating circumstances. This is how it has to be.
Yeah,
You
but
would-
that's gonna be like
you
an
would-
asterisk next to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but the thing is, people always say that, and there's not. There's been weird seasons before. Like, are you going to
Yeah,
give one to the lockout year when the
Yeah, I was just gonna
Blackhawks-
say that. Like, but yeah, I would.
I
Do you
don't-
want to run through the matchups, Teets?
Yeah, sure.
Like how it would go?
Who's 1-8 for the East?
All right, say Boston would play Columbus
Boston in
Good game.
5.
in 5.
Tank, it'd be good.
Columbus is Washington and Carolina.
Carolina beat them last year, right?
Carolina because they're gonna get Dougie Hamilton back too.
The
so
big
that's
thing
big.
is
And Pesci.
every team will be healthy. That's
Yeah.
and well rested, which has never happened for the playoffs, which would really help
Sure.
the Rangers.
Yeah, but are we a wild card position yet?
We're like 4 or 5
We're-
points out.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
we're
that's
we're
then
2
we'd be
points
screwed.
out.
2 points out.
Yeah,
But
we'd
I'm
still be
just-
screwed. 2
I'm
points
just
out is
saying.
2 points out. If they just make it right now, there's no chance we make
If
it.
this
so there's no point.
season it has some weird ending where like it wouldn't have played out, this was the year the Rangers would have won the Stanley Cup.
I had
Yeah,
a weird
guaranteed.
feeling about this. I had a weird feeling about this Ranger team too. Like they never give up. You know.
But that's a good thing that always carries over because this core should stay with. So there's a lot of hope. That's the thing that I think all leagues are trying to settle on is they don't want this year to affect next year. They want next year to be as normal
Oh
as
yeah,
possible.
so do I.
Well,
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
at least you want the end of the year to be as normal as possible. Like I heard the NHL might delay it a month, and take
That
away
would
bye
suck.
weeks and play more back to back. How would it? It wouldn't.
No,
suck for-
like I'm just talking about from waiting another month for the start of hockey, but
But hockey's going to go to August now, probably. You know?
yeah.
Because right now, we'll pile all these in with all the sports. Like golf is slated. They're going to play a Memorial Cup tournament in mid-June with no fans. So that's going to be the next sporting event that's announced.
And everyone's gonna watch that.
But that's
Baseball.
announced today that mid-May they may start up having all their teams sequestered in Arizona and Phoenix.
Yeah,
and playing there.
but that's ridiculous.
Wait, why
Like,
Arizona
but-
and Phoenix?
There's so
Like,
many
why?
issues with that. There's so
But-
many issues with that.
Why
Well,
there?
The virus going around is a cold weather virus, and
Hey,
so
Jesse said that.
the benefit of playing in a warmer climate would help with the medical aspects
The
of it.
problem is
But
it tears away.
hold on, Tank, hold on.
Thanks.
So the other thing with Arizona is a huge spring training facility complex there with like 12
Yeah.
fields, so you would be able
Right.
to play like all the games like on a
Yeah.
normal schedule. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can do a normal schedule, but like the problem is you're going to be out there for 4 months. You're going to take every professional away from their families unless their families can come with, and like there's so many issues. The heat is going to be a huge deterrent and a huge
Well,
problem.
they play in Arizona already.
No, I
Yeah.
know that, but not every single game.
The Rangers
Who's going to
play,
be the
but the Ran-
Diamondbacks are going to be the only ones.
but the Diamondbacks play inside. But like Arlington, the Rangers play outside. California, LA gets really hot. They play outside. Both teams. This team's a cut. You can play baseball in warm weather.
No, absolutely, but it's going to be definitely hot in the middle of summer. It's
For
140-degree
sure.
weather.
that's
Like there's
the-
going to be many injuries and
But that's the heart of baseball season as it is.
yeah,
And if everyone's playing in the same climate, then it shouldn't affect any team negatively or positive. Everyone's got to deal with it.
right. It'll affect everyone the same.
But I heard a thing would be 4.5 months that the players would have to agree to. Like I will
Yeah.
not leave the hotel or the field
Yes.
for 4.5
And that's
months.
the problem. Like, I mean, you're gonna get a bunch of players saying they're gonna have to. You know,
Mhm.
like they're not gonna say no. You're gonna have to say yes. But a lot of the players aren't gonna like the decision. But if they want to make money, and it's
Exactly.
just how it's gonna have to happen.
Like
the NFL is not going to be affected at all, right? Pretty much.
Trump told the NFL commissioner he wants them to start on schedule in September. But this is the NFL.
Probably be able to.
If the NFL is smart, they've always been talking about they want to cut down preseason. It's too dangerous. There's no need to play for it. This is the year to do it.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
like we'll go down the 1-2 games, get everyone ready because it's mainly just the quarterbacks that need to get ready. Everyone else can get ready in camp, and then you just go to football. And preseason only helps the rookies in football make a name.
That are trying to make it,
absolutely.
And like the Victor Cruz type players that are trying to earn a spot. So you can have it to where you cut down, and this is the year to do it. Like baseball has been talking for a few years of expanding playoffs and going to 154 games because the baseball season used to be 154 games. If the league was ever going to do it, now's the year to just be like, we're making the change now. Like you have an opportunity, and they can do it. Like baseball can go to double headers and make 154 up.
Of course, baseball's a little different. You can play a shorter season, but you can't play too short of a season. Football, you can squeeze everything in and kind of get it moving. You don't have to really worry about anything. But with baseball, you needed like 90 games in order to feel like a real season. You can't just play 60 games.
Anything under 120 games is not a champion.
That's the problem.
The best team always wins in baseball. That's how it should. Hockey,
unless you cheat.
That's true.
That's a whole different issue with the Astros.
Talent-wise, the Astros were still a very good team. They could have won on their own.
I think they could have, but
for sure. But I mean,
mistakes were made. So,
but Todd Frazier hit the ball to the track in Game 7, 2017 ALCS with the Yankees Astros. Don't forget. Don't forgive. What was the other thing? There's something else I was going to mention about this. Anything else?
Just lost it.
Yep, gone.
Tough.
This is a tough look.
I don't know. This whole thing just sucks for sports, but.
But it's gonna drive the popularity of sports, and whichever league comes first is gonna have this huge thing where it's like people that say golf comes back first in mid-June. That's the first legitimate event.
No, I'd watch it. I don't watch golf, but I'd watch it.
Yeah, everyone's gonna watch it because there's no sports.
There's nothing else to watch, and it's
except NASCAR. NASCAR has not stopped.
Big thing. The NBA did a 2K tournament.
Yeah, I saw that on ESPN.
And it had like 334,000 viewers or something like that. Really? NASCAR had their iRacing event, had over 1 million people watching.
Huge.
And so it's like
big win for William Byron.
They're actually having like 2K tournaments and stuff.
Yeah. It's terrible though.
They have it running on the bottom screen of SportsCenter. I was like, who is Mitchell and Tenor? I was like, what is this?
No, but racing's got the benefit of being the only sport that can literally not actually happen, and you look at it like this is real. Like the simulators
the simulator is like 95% real. Like it's ridiculous.
I still haven't watched. And like, how many races have they done?
They've done 3.
The Texas, Bristol, and
Homestead.
Yeah.
Bristol
was actually fun to watch.
Yeah, I heard Bristol was terrible. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was awful.
Because half the guy, Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace is an idiot.
I hate Bubba Wallace.
I can't stand that guy.
I don't know anything about NASCAR.
Okay, controversial time. This is a guy who's very open that he's the only black driver in NASCAR, and it's I don't know. I could be dead wrong. Anytime someone goes after him, you're very often reminded of the fact he's the only black driver.
Yeah. But he's also, like that then.
But he's also a very bad race car driver.
Very bad. And he only is in the racing because of his last name. That's it.
Wait, what's his last name?
Wallace.
And why is that?
What? Want me to explain?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know Wallace? Rusty Wallace or anybody? Nothing.
Who's that?
No, he wouldn't have any clue who these guys are. Well, but here's the thing.
I'm guessing he's like a legend.
Yeah.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah. He's a very good race car driver.
They have a NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Dale Jr.
Where's that
at? Sport.
Where is it at, though? I never heard of it.
Charlotte, North Carolina. It's brand new. It opened like 10 years ago. Yeah, but the thing is, too, it's like Bubba Wallace also drives arguably like the second most iconic number in NASCAR history. He drives Richard Petty's number, who has 200 career wins, and the next closest has 93 wins.
And what's that? Like what number?
Who has 93 wins?
You said he drives an iconic
43.
number.
43.
Richard Petty, and he drives for Richard Petty Motorsports, but he's just terrible. But the thing is, all the popular drivers are like good friends with him, like Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, kind of sweeps him in, but he sucks so bad.
What about What's her name? Danica Patrick?
Yeah, she doesn't
Terrible.
race. She doesn't race anymore.
Oh, really?
No,
That's like the only. Let's
she
see.
Retired.
I know her. I know the Earnhardt, right?
Which one?
Which one?
Both of them. Senior and junior.
There's more than two.
Really?
Kelly. Yeah.
Are they all related?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes, they are. No, they are. Don't be mean, thing.
Wait.
They only have the same last name.
Little history lesson. One of the first great, famous NASCAR drivers was a guy named Ralph Earnhardt.
Mm-hmm.
He had his son,
pioneer in the sport,
whose name is Dale Earnhardt, better known as Dale Sr.
Heard of him.
And then he had a son named Ralph Earnhardt Jr., who goes by Dale Jr., who is Dale Sr.'s son. His first name's Ralph, though. Fun fact.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, he's named after his grandfather, but he goes by Dale. Actually, when Dale Jr. first got into the sport, they called Dale Sr. Big E, and they called Dale Jr. Little E, and then they went to Senior and Junior. But there's also Jeffrey Earnhardt, who races in NASCAR. Well, he's not awful. I feel
he needs a little push.
He is a good fill-in driver. If you gave him a good car, he'll win. If you give him
you can give a lot of guys good cars and they'll win.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm like, there's some guy like Bubba Wallace. I think you can put him in 18 and he would spin out or wreck someone.
I mean, but you give a guy with decent talent a good car, a good setup. Yeah. But if you're getting a guy in a car with he doesn't know any, you got the car set up and he gives you no input. There's no. I mean,
but the
driver has a lot of.
Jeffrey Earnhardt has it where Dale Jr. The thing that hurt him is he was with DEI, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, till 2007, and then he went over to Hendricks. 2004 was his best year, and then the Uris, there was a bunch of crew chiefs left. There was never consistent. Dale Jr., if he had a consistency, if he kept that 2004 team together, he would have the same career Jeff Gordon had. He was just as good as Jeff.
There was a point in his career where he became scared. After that Corvette wreck, that turned it around and.
But he for sure dealt with concussion issues, as Lil C is very involved in this conversation. But Dale Jr.
I've never watched NASCAR a day in my life.
Dale Jr. is without a doubt a Hall of Fame racer. He's a Hall of Fame talent.
Was he a two-time Daytona?
Two-time Daytona, 2004, 2014. Two-time Busch Series champion.
Yeah,
14-time most popular driver. He won it so many years.
Just the two Daytona wins himself.
He saved the sport. After his dad died,
no doubt.
If there's no Dale Jr., there's no NASCAR. His win after 9/11 at Dover is one of the most iconic. The win in July after his dad died, the 2004 Daytona 500. All these wins are iconic. They saved NASCAR.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's not a Hall of Famer. I'm not arguing that. I don't know how someone could argue that.
If you take Dale Jr. out of these iRacing events, half the people don't watch.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm sorry, Little C. You're
I'm
guys that love.
I'm learning some NASCAR.
I have the NASCAR diecast in there. Dale Sr., Dale Jr.,
I used
Chase
to play
Elliott, Ryan Blaney.
I used to play the games, and I turn around before the race and just hit everyone.
That explains a lot. Just saying.
Huh?
That explains a lot. What is this remaining meeting time?
I got it. Don't worry. I'm on top of everything. Okay. Yeah, but, we just hope sports can come back soon. That's the whole point of this. And then we can
it's boring, bro.
Once sports come back, we might have to upgrade for Pro, which Zoom is nicely advertising in front of me as they count down how many seconds I have left to talk.
I think we can do something else other than Zoom. We all have iPhones, correct? So.
Yeah, but I like Zoom because it does limit us. Because I don't want too long an episode where people aren't going to listen. But
2 hours.
I think 40 minutes is like if we get to. If we get really
what was
big,
ours last time? 20 something, and I
27.
Felt like
that's perfect for us because people aren't going to listen to a new show if it's like 4 hours long.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if we start talking about sports, I could.
Oh, I definitely could, but I got other things to do.
That's fair too. So our final topic for today, the Hall of Fame announced for the Naismith Hall of Fame announcer inductees last night. I'll just read their little thing. The class of 2020 includes 8-time NBA All-Star and 5-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant, 15-time NBA All-Star, 3-time NBA Finals MVP Tim Duncan, 15-time NBA All-Star, 9-time NBA All-Defensive First Team Selection Kevin Garnett, 4-time Coach of the Year Eddie Sutton, 2-time NBA Coach Rudy Tomjanovich, apologies to his family, 10 times WNBA All-Star and 4-time Olympic gold medalist Tamika Catchings, 3-time NCAA National Championship Coach of Baylor Kim Mulkey, Sorry if I said that wrong. 5-time Division II national champion, national coach of the year, Barbara Stevens, and longtime FIBA executive, Patrick Ballman.
All respect to like everyone else, but like everyone knows that this is all like Kobe, you know, like
obviously tragic.
Everything's gonna be focused on him. Like
for sure,
it sucks what happened.
It's kind of sad too, because you can like this is one of the best classes ever. Garnett,
Duncan. Yeah, that's crazy.
These are guys, they're winners.
Oh, absolutely.
This is gonna be like the first NBA Hall of Fame I'm gonna watch, just to watch like.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But another thing. Go ahead.
Like that's like the first like, at least for me, the first person that like I grew up with watching who's like that good who like died. Like it was like, oh shit. Like,
I think for a lot of our generation was. We grew up shooting into the garbage can in school, yelling Kobe like it.
Oh, that's still gonna happen. I'm never gonna stop yelling Kobe. But
yeah, for sure.
Damn,
but I think another thing with Kobe's passing and even Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett going in, it's like you realize how much basketball has changed from like when we were growing up watching to that. Like Kobe, the guys wanted to win championships and they wanted to win with their team. And now it's so much of like the championships almost take a second seat to like individuals. Which is sad. Like how LeBron James has ruined the National Basketball Association and other small opinions I have.
I saw something on TikTok today that it was like two kids trying to explain how MJ isn't the best basketball player of all time.
Hold on. Okay, let's go. I only have 6 minutes. I can do this. So take everything aside. Mm-hmm. The point of sports in any game you play is to win the game.
He was one of the best competitors.
Jordan, if you want to argue the greatest player ever has to win the most championships, that's a valid argument. That's fine. Bill Russell can be that guy. Pure talent to win a game. If you're not taking Michael Jordan, then you're just stupid. You're really, really stupid.
They were like, he can win without Pippen. Or anyone.
Okay.
I think it's the other way around.
Pippen's a great player, but like...
Name one championship team that has won in any sport solely on one player.
Solely on one player?
Solely because of one player. The 04 Pistons are the only team that didn't have a superstar in basketball history that won. They won purely on teamwork. Every other team has had a dynamic duo. Magic, Kareem. Are you guys frozen or are you just staring? Can you hear me?
All right, you're good.
Now you're good.
Oh, now we're good? Completely lost my train of thought.
Kareem.
Plus, Kareem and Magic.
Kareem.
What's on Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, LeBron D. Wade.
LeBron D. Wade, yeah.
MJ was also in Space Jam.
LeBron, that shit. But Space Jam 2 is gonna suck. I don't know.
It's with LeBron, right?
Yeah, it's gonna
look at
suck.
that hairline. Like it's not gonna be good. Like,
but if you ever, I will give 2 reasons why kids shouldn't look up to LeBron. The first one, if you hold spacebar down, you mute yourself so we don't hear you coughing.
Just completely cough all over the mic.
LeBron James, ESPN shot this video. It's like, look at LeBron like firing up his team after Game 6 against the Warriors or something like that. His coach, Tyronn Lue, is talking. LeBron runs in the locker room tank. Are you okay?
He might have corona.
He just choked on water at the wrong time. So Tyronn Lue's talking, and LeBron just comes in, and it's like this great speech. He's just yelling the F word every third word, saying like, they effed up, they effed up. That's all he did. And
he's a great leader.
Yeah.
Who are you daring to say that LeBron is not a great leader?
It's the absolute worst. And then people are like praising him, saying like, look at his ability to recall the game after the finals last year, the year before that.
Basketball's the only thing he does.
Shut up. Not my point, Tank. Listen. And he's
doesn't he have a pizza place?
Shut up. It sucks. Shut up. Let me say this.
Sorry, Dave.
No, I'm serious though. Like, let me get this out. So LeBron's going over these plays where he's like, oh, I passed it to this guy, and then he shot it, and he's went in, and then it went to this guy, and this happened, and this happened, and then they got the ball. And then when he said, and then they got the ball, if you watch the tape, he turned it over on the worst pass I've ever seen in my life. And that's no bias that LeBron threw the pass.
Someone hates LeBron.
He's the worst. He turned sports into we won, into I won. That's what he did for basketball. He started this whole generation thing that allowed people to jump ship. And people could be like, well, like Jordan changed the game because he left after his junior year. And before that, no one ever really did that. And he changed that whole thing. But LeBron's a piece of crap. Okay.
Hey, you know who I love? Dirk. Big Dirk guy.
Dirk, great guy, loyal to his team. LeBron's on his third team
He also
now?
beat fucking the Heat with all them. He's
With
single like
who was on that team that lost?
it was LeBron, Wade, and Bosh.
And LeBron's like, I'm gonna win one championship.
Who else was on the Mavericks?
Bosh was good.
Bosh is terrible.
Bosh was good.
Bosh is good.
As your third guy with D Wade and LeBron, he's good.
Yeah, Bosh is good.
Come on, he's a dinosaur.
I mean, Ray Allen he was their best shooter in that one.
Obviously. Ray Allen
but yeah, LeBron really started like
Bosh was even that great. Like
LeBron really started like the super teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you could argue super teams started with the Olympic team, and everyone's been trying to recreate that ever since.
That'll never happen because America's the best country in the world, and everyone else can suck it.
Hey,
I have my flag with me outside, waving around. But I don't know. I can give a full rant next time about why LeBron sucks, and I can even share my screen and show PowerPoints with examples going back. Dude, he's a rat. If you have chosen one tattooed on your back and you're not Jesus Christ, then you need to go home.
Isn't his kid good at ball?
I don't care. He's a bad guy. He's like, listen to this. He's like, I don't want my son to have the pressure of living up to me.
Dude, you're LeBron's son.
I'm gonna name him LeBron James Jr.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, and then he goes, I don't want him to feel the pressure. We call him Bronny at home. You still have the same name.
What if he came to the Knicks,
The Knicks, they would suck. They'd lose.
You think so?
Yeah, they would lose.
The Knicks
everyone would come here. Are you kidding me? If LeBron came
all right,
here,
so so you just equated fans coming to a stadium with talent.
I'm talking about the players.
He's saying players would follow. Which is true. Players would follow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, so we got a minute left, guys. Let's wrap it up. Tank, what you learned today?
I learned that James has a burning passion hate for LeBron, and Corey still knows nothing about NASCAR.
Hey, I learned a little bit about NASCAR today, so
that's always a good thing. Nothing wrong with NASCAR. So thanks everyone.
You know what else I learned, James? Real quick, someone loves presents.
This guy right down here. Tank does love some presents. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Catch us on our SoundCloud at 3 Dudes 1 Zoom, on our YouTube channel, the same name, 3 Dudes 1 Zoom. Every Tuesday and Thursday we'll have an episode. This is Tuesday's episode. Be on the lookout Thursday for the next episode. Thanks for listening.
Peace out. Thank you.